So it's 6:30. I'm about to close in like 30 minutes, but I had this trade-in come in, and it's not anything crazy, but it's noteworthy to record because you'll look at this. All these games right here, Shark Tale, PS2, factory sealed. All of these games right here are factory sealed. Like it's a bunch of like Nickelodeon and cartoon like IPs, like movie titles. Like Shrek 2 and like this Nicktoons Moving. Like these are all factory sealed. That's pretty crazy. And these are going to be in my sealed whatnot show. We got Get On to Mike on PS2, Finding Nemo. Ooh, Finding Nemo. Not factory sealed. Disney Sing It, nothing crazy. Tekken 4, it's always a good bread and butter title. You Draw, Sega Superstars Tennis, or no, that's just Sega Superstars. Mario Sluggers, that's a good one. Strike Force Bowling, Wipeout, and Pool Paradise, and Conflict Zone on the PS2. But anyway, I just thought those sealed games were cool, so I figured I'd show you all that. My buddy Hunter brought this Resident Evil 4 Chainsaw Controller in, and I just had to record this. I might be buying it off of him, but just wanted to show that right here. So I'm about to close. Right before I closed, I had a crazy Nintendo DS collection come in. Also, I got a sealed copy of Pikmin 4 in on the Switch. And let me just show you some of these games that came in. So I got all these DS games in. I'll give you guys a quick overview of what came in. Nothing crazy. A couple of Xbox 360 games, some pretty good PSP games. Then we also got in a Nintendo 3DS. And yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this collection buy. And if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, then some of you may know that I last year bought every version of every single Silent Hill game ever made. So if you want to see an exciting series, I'm working on it right now. So for this series, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I am buying every single version of every single Resident Evil game ever made. US release only, not going to any other regions, but I'm buying every version of every Resident Evil game ever made. It's going to be a lot more expensive, it's going to be a lot more games, but I'm doing that. And while he was out today, my dude Hunter picked these up for me. So I got Resident Evil 4, the Player's Choice and Black Label on GameCube, along with the greatest hits of Resident Evil 4 and Code Veronica on PS2 because I have the Black Label for both already. So if you guys watched the Silent Hill video, you know how I gotta do this. I gotta get every different version of every game. And this helps start. I will show you guys once I get home what I'm already working with. But yeah, that's gonna take a while. All right, guys, just finished the Whatnot show. I gotta pack up some Whatnot orders. I got my bag filled over there. But first, I am going to unbox this package that just came in UPS. And if you were listening to this snippet earlier in the video, I will, it has to do with me collecting every single Resident Evil game. So this one's a fun one. This one's a very fun one. So let's unbox this package because I'm really excited for this one. All right, so first of all, we got Rock Auto box tape here. So whoever the seller was clearly is into cars or buying car parts or knows somebody. I don't think you guys are ready for this. This is a really cool one right here. Once we get it opened. All right, guys, it's right here. Are you ready? I don't know if I'm ready for this, so. Oh, here we go. Woo, 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 woo. Oh my goodness. We have Resident Evil 2 complete in box on the Nintendo 64 of all consoles. The box isn't in the best condition, but this is still such a grail piece to have. I can maybe see if I could do that like iron thing that people do, like put a little bit of like parchment paper down and like iron the box. But let's see inside this thing, dude. So first, we have the Nintendo 64 precautions booklet. We have the Resident Evil 2 instruction booklet with the registration card. That's huge. but the Resident Evil 2 manual. And last but not least, I'm gonna have to open it up from the other side. Resident Evil 2 on the Nintendo 64. You know it's real where the eye on Nintendo is square and not round. And I don't know if you guys can see it in the light, but right here, you can barely see it, I believe. Right here, you can see where it has like that number that Nintendo stamps onto the back of the cartridge. So of course we know that the cartridge is legit, and this is a super clean copy of Resident Evil 2 on the Nintendo 64. So if you want to see a precursor to how I'm going to do the Resident Evil series, go watch my video on my channel of me unboxing every Silent Hill game. And just to show you guys what I've got done already, let me show you all the Resident Evil games that I already have. So I got this one now, and to give you guys an idea, this is what I'm working with so far. This is all Resident Evil games. So I have Resident Evil Survivor on the PS1. This is the Essentials pack on PlayStation 2. So this covers me on all the black labels of these games. So as you can see, I have the greatest hits of Resident Evil Code Veronica and Resident Evil 4. I don't know if there's a greatest hits for Resident Evil Outbreak, but I do need that one if there is. I have Resident Evil Dead Aim on the PS2, which is a kind of a heavy hitter. And of course, Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, which is a heavy hitter. I'm missing one for the Wii. So I have Darkside Chronicles, Umbrella Chronicles 4, and Resident Evil 1. I'm missing Resident Evil 0 from the Resident Evil Archives series on the Wii. I have Resident Evil 4, both Black Label and Player's Choice. Then I have Resident Evil 1 on the GameCube. So there's plenty more I need on the GameCube. Special edition box for Resident Evil Village on the PS5. So I need Resident Evil Village on the PS4, plus there's a couple other box variants on PS5. Then I have Resident Evil 4 Remake, of course. Then I have them all on PS4. There may be a couple of box variants that I need on PS4. So, of course, Resident Evil Origins, Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and of course I have 8 right here. Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2. The Resident Evil Triple Pack on Nintendo Switch, along with the Platinum Hits on Xbox 360. And since I own a store, I have the regular label at the store, so I need to grab that off the shelves for that. Then the Resident Evil 5 Steelbook, which is one of my favorites. But yeah, guys, that is what I am working with so far. Counting this, considering there's 3 games in here, I think I have 31 games right here. And yeah. I have a lot more to go. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now if you want to see me collect every single version of every single Resident Evil game ever made. And go check out my Silent Hill video when I did this with the Silent Hill series. It's a super good video. It's one of the most popular videos, long form videos on my channel. But this is about to be crazy, so stay tuned. Here at the shop, wanted to add some more games to the Resident Evil collection. There's a few that I need, a few that I already have, but a few that I needed to add. So we have now added the greatest hits of Resident Evil 6, along with the OG label of Resident Evil 5 on 360, Resident Evil 6 on the PS3. Even though I have multiple copies of this game, that's what we're doing. We're going for every variation of every Resident Evil game. So these 2 are being added to the collection. So let me preface with this video. I got a pair of 1994 Jordan 1 Breds in. I paid $500 for these. I'm going to raffle these off, but I'm going to clean them up first. And here's a video of me explaining to that this is a before of the shoe before I clean it and before we start the raffle. Here's a nice before of this shoe. It's definitely beat. Has a little bit of an odor to it as well. Kind of smells like weed, if I'm being honest. Overall, the condition's not too bad. The toes are definitely crunched in, but I can stuff that with some plastic bags. So, first order of business, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out these shoelaces, throw them in the washer, then we're going to stuff the toes. Then we're gonna start scrubbing on these things and let's see what we can turn them into. Got the sneakers right here. I currently have the laces in the dryer. I'm using a Rejuvenator sneaker cleaning kit. I have the Ultimate kit that my wife got me a couple Christmases ago. This is a nice before of what the shoes are looking like to give you an idea. I guess I'm just gonna start spraying these shoes down and see what we can turn them into. I mean, obviously there's some missing paint. We can't do anything about the heel drag on the bottom, but I think we can take these a lot further along than what they're currently sitting at. So I'm gonna do a nice little time lapse and we're gonna get these shoes clean. I will do one shoe first so we can do kind of a comparison of what the clean shoe looks like versus the dirty shoe and see if we can notice a difference. All right, guys, we've definitely made some progress here. This shoe is done. This is the not clean shoe. As you can tell, I'm sure you can see a pretty good difference here. Just with the color of everything. Obviously, like the shoe I haven't cleaned is way more dusty just because of where it's been stored for years. What I really like about Rejuvenator's cleaning kit is it has there's no like nasty soaps or anything in it. It's all made from like natural oils. So with that being the case, it really like brings that leather back to life. But I really think this shoe, I think we're making a pretty good difference on them. I'm not noticing that much of a difference on the soles, like the midsoles, aside from just like getting the dirt out. And I've taken this stiff bristle brush and I've gone to town on it. There's a little bit of a difference for sure, and I don't know if you saw earlier in the video, there was like a blue paint stain on this, and it actually did get that out. Overall, the shoe is 1000% looking better. Absolutely looking better. We'll see what I can arrive them at, you know what I mean? We got a little ways to go, but it's definitely looking better, to say the least. And I'm gonna start cracking on this bad boy. I tell you what, guys, I think we might be done on these. I don't know how much more we can bring these back to life. Couldn't get this little stripe out, not with the stiff bristle brush, not with a magic eraser. But overall, with what these were at before, I think I'm very satisfied with how they turned out. I think they'll look better once we get the laces back in them too. These are definitely looking a lot better than what they were before. So I'm happy with how they turned out. And I guess we'll see what we can get out of these. Hopefully we can give someone a good deal and hopefully make a little bit of money. Okay, and I had a trade-in come in that cost me $2,000. Here's the PS1 stack. So Alundria right there, that's a $155 game. Both the Wild Arms games are like $60 games. I had Xenogears come in, that is a $175 game. So the PS1 games were gnarly. Here's the GameCube games, Phantasy Star Online, Smash Bros, the promotional disc for Zelda, and the Wind Waker Kmart exclusive, along with here's the DS games. Just some crazy value in these DS games here. You see all the Final Fantasies. You see Devil Survivor right there. Wild West surprised me. Here's some Switch games that came in the collection. Nothing too crazy, but all just good stuff. Here's the cartridge-based stuff, like we have Snowboard Kids 1 and 2, along with Smash Bros, 2 copies of Mario N64, Zelda 1 and 2, Zelda Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. Solid collection. Here's some Dreamcast games that came in. Nothing crazy, but wanted to show these off. And then had some Vita stuff come in. Some all good stuff, Personas and Final Fantasy, along with Deadly Premonition right there on the PS3, plus 3D Dot Game Heroes. Some Suikoden games on PS2 that came in, along with Tales of Symphonia on GameCube. Just had some crazy Pokemon pieces come through the shop. Did a coin flip on them. Lost the coin flip, but I still think these pieces are pretty cool. Usually don't buy stuff like this, but it was just too cool to pass on. I mean, one of these I definitely would have bought. I paid $220 for everything. Let me show you what I got. We got a Japanese copy of Pokemon Blue on the Game Boy, graded an 8.7 by ES Grading Company. I've never heard of them, but I've seen multiple of their graded slabs, per se, on eBay, so I know it's legit. And then we got a copy of Pokemon Silver. Japanese copy. Graded an 80 out of 100. Then, complete in box copy of Pokemon Pinball on Game Boy Color. But the cartridge has the rumble pack on it, and it is 3D printed. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if you can see this, you can see that the cover for the battery on it, it's 3D printed. These cartridges are only like 30 bucks. The box and the manual is really what brings the value in. So I could always get a replacement cartridge, and you know it's legit when you can see that little number indentation right there. You see what I'm talking about right there? That little 22 stamped on there to the top left of the Nintendo stamp. So it is legit, but 3D printed. It'll definitely go to a good home, that's for sure. Might run it on Whatnot, we'll see. And now would be a great time to go follow my Whatnot. Go follow me on Whatnot. I'm running crazy stuff all the time. All the time, running crazy stuff like that stuff. The PS1 heavy titles that came in, they go quick on Whatnot. So follow me on Whatnot. And that's it, guys. I just kind of mashed up all the videos that I've recorded over the past couple of weeks. I know this is a very exciting ending. I know there wasn't a very exciting beginning, really no intro, just kind of dove right into it. But that was it. Thank you so much for watching. I definitely have some more exciting content coming up on the way. Here in a couple months, we have Southeast Gaming Exchange coming up, so that is going to be a super fun video. We're working on completing and buying every single Resident Evil game coming up, so that is super exciting as well. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you don't care, please hit that subscribe button. Please like, go follow Sneaks and Geeks on Instagram, go follow me on Whatnot, and thank you so much. I will see y'all later.